Sean Ellen is 10 and Samantha is 11. They both go to Saron County Primary School, Dyfed.
Samantha and I decided to have a go at writing a song because the school has been successful in the National Eisteddfod, gone through to the finals in it a few times, so we decided that it would be a good idea to have a go. So I wrote the tune, the first half of the tune, before going out to play rugby. Our rugby lessons about Dragon Rugby, which is the new game devised by the Welsh Rugby Union for girls and boys to play of any age. So after that, we came back in and I played it on the piano, the tune I had written to Samantha, and then Samantha tried to figure out some words to put with it, and then we wrote the other half of the song the day after.
When I think of Christmas, I think of the star because it directed the shepherds and the wise men to where Jesus was being born, and I thought it would be a bit boring if we had all the verses the same about the star, so I decided to bring the Christmas we have now into the last verse, so that's why we called it the Shining Star.
Here's on the invitation, 22nd of December, 12 o'clock, the village square, Little Wittering. This is Little Wittering, the village square. No one's turned up. It says here, Bob Cratchit can't unfortunately meet you because he's working late. But you will be made very welcome. It's a shame, really. I was hoping to say welcome to a song for Christmas 1989. This is the grand final of the 1989 Song for Christmas competition, and we are all very excited about it, I can tell you. Last year, you may remember, they dragged me up to the Birmingham rooftops with Dick Van Dyke. And as you can see, this year I've come back down to earth for this beautiful Dickensian village. It's called Little Wittering. I've got my chestnuts roasting on an open fire, the turkey's stuffed, and the mince pies are ready. If you've been watching Daytime Live for the last couple of weeks or so, you'll know that we've been all over the country visiting our 8 finalists and seeing them perform their Christmas songs in their schools. But today's the culmination of all their hard work. Our 4 junior and 4 senior finalists are here to do battle to decide which 2 schools will become the proud owners of these magnificent Song for Christmas trophies. A biggie for the seniors and a little for the juniors. Let me introduce you to the man who's had the frightening task of selecting the finalists from the thousands of entries we've had this year. It is, as always, the founder of the competition, the Captain Birdseye of Little Wittering, our musical director extraordinaire, Bob Howes. Nice to see you again, King Edward. King Edward. These are very nice, good quality too, I understand.
Excellent.
What about the standard here?
Well, that quality is just as good as we've ever had. In fact, the standard's even higher than last year.
I'm very pleased to hear it. That's good. All right. Well, thank you very much indeed. At times, it's been very hard for our Bob. He's had to set up this little stand here, you know, fruit and veg. But well done. Carry on. Thanks. You're welcome. Let's put my invitation in here, I think. Our judges this year. Come and meet them. 4 eminent people from the music industry. They're actually number 8. Don't mind me pestering them. Here they are. And here they are. Judges, you've helped yourselves, I hope, to the little bits and bobs that have been all over the place, on the tables and stuff. Good. Let me just hang my coat up. Thank you for that. First, please welcome singer-songwriter and Moody Blue, Justin Hayward. He's down here. And also, next to him, a gentleman who's currently in cahoots with him at the London Philharmonic Orchestra at the moment, Mr. Bright Eyes himself, Mike Batts. Welcome to both of you. Thank you for coming along. And over here, David Hill, who's the Director of Music at Winchester Cathedral, the home of some of the country's finest choir boys. And that leads me nicely onto our final judge here, a choir boy no more, but a student now of the Royal Academy of Music, a young man whose company we've had the pleasure of on several occasions, Aled Jones. Welcome to you, team. Thank you very much indeed for coming along. A huge round of applause, and so we begin.
The snowman had to hurry on his way, but he waved goodbye, saying, "Don't you cry, I'll be back again someday." Frosty, Frosty, Frosty the snowman. Frosty, Frosty, Frosty the snowman. Frosty, Frosty.
Great. Well then, the moment has arrived, and those are all important words. Aled Jones, the results of the junior competition, please.
Thanks, Philip. Well, the standard was higher than ever this year. I seem to say that every year. It was about this high this year. It's been difficult choosing a winner before, but today it was near impossible. All 4 junior finalists were really superb. Good Christmas songs with excellent lyrics, all performed with such confidence as what I've written down here. I'm sure we all agree that they all have something special about them, all budding songwriters. All through the night, very nice song with strong lyrics. Mr. Chili, well, what can I say? They were great. Very catchy song, amazing for their ages. But it was very close between 2 of the entries. Wishing Carol, such a happy, jolly tune with equally good lyrics. We loved it, especially It's Boring Being Me. And Shining Star was a very exciting song with such strong lyrics and tune, excellently performed. They were really enjoying themselves. But there has to be a winner, and I hate disappointing the other finalists, but the winner had just something special. So I suppose you want to know who's won. Well, it gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of the 1989 Song for Christmas competition, junior section, is Shining Star from Saron County Primary School.
so good to see you. And I'll put that in between. Congratulations, winners of the junior section. You feel all right? Yeah? All excited? Oh, no, all excited. Well done to the rest of the team up there. I can see a few tears in the eyes. Now then, on to our senior section now. Who has won? Justin, would you please put us out of our misery?
Oh, Huw, I tell you.
There are no plans to build a women's prison in Wales, but where possible, Welsh female offenders will be held near the border or close to where they live, he said, and on release they can get help to prevent reoffending and adjust to life outside prison. Well, let's reflect on that and talk a little more to Tracy Worth, who's with me, Vice Chair of the National Association of Probation Officers Cymru. Thank you very much for coming in, Tracy.
Thank you, Huw.
What is your case for a women's prison in Wales? Is that case a strong one?
Well, yes, the issue is that, as the film identified, the majority of all female offenders who are sentenced to a custodial sentence, the closest prison is in Gloucester. And that's not the only issue. We haven't got any approved hostels in Wales. We haven't only got any bail hostels in Wales. So this is an issue if they go to court and they're deemed they can't go back to their family home for whatever reason. They have to go somewhere in Birmingham, is our closest approved hostel. In terms of being a practitioner and a probation officer, working with female offenders, it's really difficult to maintain a link with them whilst they're in custody, say they're in Eastwood Park. We are obliged to keep in touch with these offenders, and subject to sentence planning meetings, we'll go up and we'll meet them. But it's really difficult because of the 2-hour travelling time, well, a 4-hour round trip, and across the Severn Bridge, and it's really costly as well.
When you look at the high rates of reoffending, and they are very high, over 80% in some cases, when people say, look, if there was a facility based in Wales, it would help to tackle that, there'd be schemes available which are not available at the moment. Give us some examples. I mean, how would that work, and why would it bring down the reoffending rate?
Well, we've got Baroness Coston did the report in 2007, and she concluded that we needed to do more in terms of working with female offenders. We're actually applying a male-dominated criminal justice system to female offenders, which isn't working. And as a result of that, probation has been doing women-only reporting and women champions in each office. So we've been really getting together with other agencies to create a sort of more interagency approach to tackling female offending. Unfortunately, the government now is planning on privatising half the probation service, which is going to impact on that sort of interagency approach, because the majority of female offenders will now be supervised within the private sector if Graylin's plans go ahead.
But couldn't that work? Why wouldn't that work?
I just don't believe that a private company, such as the multinationals, I just don't think they're going to focus on a marginalised, short, a minority group of offenders, the female offenders. They make up, I think, 4% of the offenders that we supervise, and we supervise 250,000 offenders currently.
Isn't that one of the problems, which is because the numbers are relatively small, people aren't really thinking that the resources should go there. There are bigger problems in the criminal justice system, not least to do with men's prisons, and that's where the investment's going, and really it is because there are relatively small numbers of women involved.
Yes, it's the same as probation. We focus on high-risk cases, high-risk of harm cases, and obviously a lot of female offenders have got really complex issues, they've got children, and being so far away from the children, and I supervise offenders who've had their children taken off them whilst they've been in custody, and supervising them through that order when they come out is really, really difficult. And they usually end up in prison because they feel like they've got nothing left to live for anymore. They've already, social services have intervened, they've lost their children. But in terms of, yes, I can understand why we sort of, focus most of the money and stuff on male offenders, because that's the biggest group. But in terms of female offenders, I think before now, I've supervised females, and I've been so concerned about their safety, I've been lying in bed at night worrying about them. I've sentenced females before to custody because they're not safe in the community, mainly because of the abuse that they're suffering at the hands of their partner. A lot of the women that are in custody are victims themselves, and some of them are only just 18. We really need to do something in Wales. If we can't do a custodial sort of setting, we should at least get sort of a home for vulnerable women or something like that, or a one-stop shop kind of centred approach in terms of mental health organisations, social services and things like that, all in one building.
We heard the suggestion there, didn't we, about a facility in the south, facility in the north. Just a final point, just to really underline the point about children, the advantages of saving lots of money because of the expense of putting children into care, that actually there is a cost advantage not to put women into some of these custodial areas, because you then actually create far more financial cost with the care of the children.
Yes, definitely, and there's lots more that we can do for female offenders. They have complex needs, and it's not just, we're breaking up families here. We're putting females into custody and breaking that link with their children, and the effects of that are everlasting and psychological damage for both the children and the parents.
I mentioned the statement from Simon Hughes, the UK Justice Minister. No real suggestion there. I mean, he did say, well, they can be held near the border. Well, that's the Gloucestershire example, or as near as possible to where they live. But that could be anywhere in Wales, clearly. But there's no real sense there, is there, that they're moving towards the kind of facility that you want. So if that's not going to happen, what are the implications of that?
Some of the families that people come from that go to prison, they haven't got the money, they haven't got the time to travel all that way to see them, and they're missing out, on a valuable service that we're providing to men but not providing to women, and they need that emotional support. They need that support, a little bit extra support than the men get.
Tracy Worth, good of you to come in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Huw.
Now, the current